Hi. See this sock? It's mad. I know this sock is mad. If this sock was living, it would be very mad. You know why? Because look, there's a hole in it. So I told him, I says, you're quite holy. I says, you stink of my feet. You know everything I do. You know every step I make. But he's jealous of the other socks. He says, you got too many socks. He says, I want to be worn just by you. And I was thinking, and you know what? Right from socks, I jumped to left field. That's right. I jumped to left field just like that. All of a sudden, it just happened. It was almost like I was thinking. I think. Did I think? I thought. Thank God somebody once told me I don't even think. He says, your thinking is not even thinking of it. And he says, even when you're thinking and you have a thought, he says, those thoughts is not from thinking. He says, you're deranged. He says, it's natural for you to be like that. I'm always like that. I'm going to another level. A place where no one has been before, but yet you've been there yourself. Because every time you get to a corner where no one's been before, it's only because you're in your own corner. It's your own thing. You know what I was thinking about? Baseball and hockey. Like, what happens to an old puck? Do you melt it down until it's oil so you can put it in your car? It'll cost you more money to melt down that puck than anything else. Did you know that if you had your own horse today, you'd have nowhere to keep him? They wouldn't allow you with a horse. A natural sense from the past, they will not let you live downtown with a horse. So they automatically pushing us away. Where would he make his dupe? Are you going to pick up his dupe in the middle of the highway? He makes a dupe and all the cars are rolling and you get out to pick up the horse dupe? So you put a bag on the back, but a little piece gets out, so a cop stops you and the horse takes out his big schlong and pisses on his leg. What about a football? Calling it a pig spin. Pig spin, pig skin is a ball spin. A skin is a spin. Spun the web of the eight. The world we are in. Nothing can exist with only 1, 2, and 3. Nothing can exist without 1, 2, and 3. Without putting a batter on first and a batter on second and a batter on third, nothing counts until the batter comes home, regardless of who remains in the field, as long as you cross the plate once. What does it mean to cross a T? What does it mean to cross a T? What is it before? Cross a T. What does a T look like? Oh, there's a T. Hey, ladies, you don't want to stop drinking for a minute? I got to cross your T. Maybe it meant something about old ladies, something about England, a gray area. Yes, when you get to Europe, it gets to become gray because the highlighted of the duality of the new world has come into North America, where we are red, white, and blue, but our money is green. So what do? Canadians did not place anywhere this year, and the LA Kings have won the cup. The Devils have been beaten with strike number 1. Were the public watching to see who won the Stanley Cup in order to see what the next move of the Illuminati, of Bilderberg, of the rich and famous, of whoever they may be involved, or for whoever's not involved? We'll leave them out. If you're not involved, get out of the picture. Did I say your name? I said he and thee and thou of thee, the enlightened ones. Do I come on here only to teach? To show you something new? Was is new? Things have turned into a game. It's totally exactly like a game. We know all the answers already. We even know when God is coming down. Okay? Even if I still have a fine line, hard time to believe that anything can really exist, just by all these numbers and things that are popping into my head, it's almost like reality is... I feel like I did today yesterday already. I'm one step ahead of the game. Evil must come. And I'll be a little unhappy if it doesn't come because I'll be wrong. But if it doesn't come, it won't be like the book. But then maybe evil tricked the book. But then if evil never shows up, then good will reside to live. But we will always have to watch forward for evil. And if we do not remove what we vision as evil right now, as the high up, the money monders, okay, then who else is there to watch for? We've lost the most of our freedom of rights. What is a government about? But let's leave that to last. The reason I came on here is because of the bowling pins. I started counting 1 cent. Then I counted 2 cents. Then I counted 3 cents. Then I counted 4 cents. And when I had the 4 cents, I knew right away I had to have a line, okay, and a V in Roman numerals before I made this one. And we did the same thing on the bottom, 1 cent, 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, until we had 10 cents. But over here, okay, are 10 bowling pins. And I only had 5 cents. 5 cents and 4 cents is 9, and 3 is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, makes 15 cents. And we have one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these 3 are worth 8 because they're in the heaven. That's why. If you can imagine, I'm just going to do this very lightly because I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this. They join. Remember they said man 6? Well, man is 6. 3 and 3 is 6. Then there's one that goes on the outside, 7 and 8. Okay, make the exterior heaven blockage, the north and the south. It would be more like this. Okay, and then you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7th gate of the 7th gate. You see, there's many ways the 7th gate will show up to show what it is. Don't you see what it looks like? It opens and it closes. It opens and it closes. And then there's the transfer gates where it starts like this, okay, and all it does is move this angle like this, and then it comes back to center, and then it moves this angle like this, and then comes back to center. It never passes the 135 degrees, okay? What passes between 135 over here and 135 over here, giving 90 degrees? That's man walking. Is in between the 135s. You know why? Do you know what the 135 is? The first, the third, and the 5th letter. ACE, ace. 135 degrees is in the 9 position of birth. 135 on each side is a transfer from both worlds, 7 and 6, 9 and 4, in which 1 connects to the 6th spirit. Because all the worlds are 6. First dice, 2nd dice, 3rd dice, 4th dice. 4th dice ends at letter 24. Okay, but you don't bring out the 4th dice unless you're in the next world. Okay, but the 4th dice, okay, brings out the 24, which is the 24 hours in the day, and that's the way it starts. Then the 5th dice, okay, goes on for time because of creation, 30 days. Okay, and then the 6th dice goes on for 36 because of alpha. Okay, and 5 times around, alpha 10, and then 5 times around. If how can I explain that? Alpha 10 and your omega 6. How do I explain it? Anyways, I can't get it out. But did you know in French for a strike, okay, it's called in Hebrew the same thing. If somebody said the same thing, hey, I got a strike. If they said it in Hebrew, okay, I mean in French, a Hebrew would understand it as, hey, father, because Abba Ima is father, mother. And reserve, it means to reserve a space. And with a reserve, it means I get half. I get to add on to the space. This world is a world of creation of 3, but everything is 2. If you're with anybody, to be fair, everybody will have 1 each. Since the group will be called 9, we will be calling them 2 9s. Everybody will have 2 in the group of 9. What I'm trying to work on now is, again, I'm back to metric time. And I'm also looking for, because, I mean, basically, the compass and metric time is almost similar or alike, except one runs under 15, and one runs under 45 degrees, and this one runs under 15 degrees. 5 degrees and 15 degrees. Anyways, I don't know where to go next with this. I really don't. I know we have, oh yeah, that's what it is. Since this makes the 8 heaven and this makes the 20 bowling pins, okay, it becomes beta heaven, BH, or time heaven, it starts to become. I really don't know anything else to tell you except you do have to close a door because there has to be a return, okay, for things to come around your thinking, your hair. So we close the door over here, and over here we only start under these two, okay? We start under these two. I'm not going to show you the whole point of this, okay? And it ends up to be the E letter. The E letter. It's almost like the Cincinnati Red sign, but this ends up to be an E letter at the end because one door has to close because it's got to go around. Oh, and then it passes through you, and it goes around. Oh, and it passes through you, or it goes around and goes. Oh, and it passes through you. Okay. Don't forget, there's 1, 2, 3 of these. There's 3 of these. You live in the final one, and then inside of you are all these things around you, the same thing. It's your stop and go life of the octagon world. Raphael 7286. Before I let off, Mercury has no moons. Let's say it's 1 times omega. 1 ton omega, a 1 ton omega. Wasn't that song about the Mayans? T-U-N, ton. How about ton as a weight, 2.20462? Why don't we look at it that way? Maybe all the equations have to be multiplied between the metric weight and the 1 ton omega. You know what I'm saying? The 2,000 pounds. Really weird, eh? You got to look at it all the way. They gave us the clues. It doesn't mean you have to use weight for weight. You know what I'm saying? If you need something to be calculated and you say, okay, this has to do with metric weight, you multiply it by the metric weight. It doesn't matter if you have anything to weigh at all because you're weighing off a word. It's just like the misunderstanding for the letters in the alphabets. The ants come marching in by in, hurrah. You know what I say? It'd be the Latter-day Saints. The Latter-day Saints, it's the letters who are the saints because saint means perfection of passage. Because anything that's ST has got a concrete word to it. As I've mentioned to you before. Stop, start, stay, last, first, best, rest, test. It's all these. You're not going to question these ST words. S and T is a second round omega. Why? Because the T is the 20th letter in the alphabet. And to say it, it has a long E. The T is sounded before the E, so there were 2 transfers electronically made. Either it's A to another angle in delta, which is heaven, and it's you, your own body, where they just went, we're sending the water down now. No, no, don't send it down. We're all plugged. Well, I need a place to send the water. Send it off. Okay, so they turned the chute. Whoosh. Never came off. It never came off the pin. It was just turned. Whoosh. It went from one side, and the electricity is in both of you. Twice a day, that electricity from your angel is in both of you at the same time. And it's just an arm that's turned, and you're in the other world in this head. Like I said, you can jump into a Nintendo game and sleep with anybody you want, and when the game's over, it wouldn't make a difference unless that's the way the game is. Nobody can say there's no police who come take you to jail and new laws. You can stay in the game as long as you want. It's the same thing as this world, but this is I mean, if anybody wants to know, the intelligent world is in gaming. You can go into any world, get killed as many times as you want, come back to heaven and say, God, you know what? What a fantastic game that is. It was Fantasy Island on that game. We were in that game. We were Fantasy Island. Hey, Rourke. I want some jungle monkeys to run after me. Where are we? I want to make $1 trillion. So you go into a game called Monopoly. Oh, I'm the brain in Monopoly. Wow, I'm actually the animal. Look, I'm a dog. Woof, woof. What am I going to do with a property? What do I care what property you buy? As long as I have a place to pee, you know, I'm just a dog. The other one goes, you're damn lucky. I'm just a wheelbarrow. I never have to pee. They load me up. Everything's for free. And then they take it out of me a little bit longer. When they get tired, they rest. You know, life is easy. When the other one comes up, look, I'm a shoe. I'm a shoe. Hey, you're just like me, says the dog. He says, why is that? He says, because you're a heel. Ha 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 ha. But I can stand atop you because I have an arch. I am above you. Turns around, look at the Monopoly pieces and go, I had enough of you boys. I don't think any of you boys in the game are going to rough it up with me. Who do you think I am? I'm the hat. But no one ever told you what kind of hat I was. Everybody looked at me and just thought I was a hat. But I'm a magic hat. And you know what? Poof. I'm the only one around. Oh my God! Oh my God, they're all gone. Oh my God, what's for supper? Oh, and they're gone. And everybody's gone. I'm here alone. So I can start this world all alone and everybody will run for me, but then I'm going to die. And of course I'll die forever because God won't let me into his world because there's no place for me in it. He'll just throw me into another game where I'll remember what happened in this world into one day. But you know what? It's so cruel. It's so cruel to have people take advantage of you. I feel like crying when someone takes advantage of me. I just want to wring their neck. You know what I'm saying? I just want to wring and embarrass them. Who wants to be embarrassed in this world? No one wants to be embarrassed in this world. So what do? If they come down and spray us and take out half the population, so we'll be in heaven having a good time. But right now, while I'm here, I don't want that to happen. But I want even more than that. I want to be able to battle them till the end and show them who's really stronger so they can fear that there's a tendency that they will lose. And just dragging it on until they completely lose, that will satisfy completely everything that went on, just to see what went wrong, just so they can have the time to think, what did I do wrong? And worry for tomorrow. And worry for tomorrow. We must also worry for those who don't worry for themselves. For those who don't have any money and can't make it in certain places. In the future, we're still going to help these people until we regulate the problem. And it doesn't matter, my friends. What do they get? $15,000, $18,000 a year. To regulate something, how do you figure out what to do? And it'll take the population. Almost like God saying, that's it. 2 babies per family, and that's it. That's all we can afford. Or we say, what can we create to have more food, to have more of this? Well, eventually, space will run out. Which angle do you take? Right now, 7286, Raphael. The constellation of Pegasus, we say it like this. A6, B6, okay, is normally only said when a completion of a design is made in all 8 directions. Don't forget, in 8 directions, there will be 7 in-betweens, creating 15. 15th letter in the alphabet is omega, which pronounces the first letter A and the 5th letter E. When the 5th letter E is split over to the next side, it counts for 2 spaces, the up and the down. The E, the 5, if you look in roulette, it'll show you everything. The answers are out there, my friend. What are we looking for? That's the question. What are we looking for? I love this job. I just love this job. You think I'm crazy? Bingo. You think I'm not crazy? Bingo. You think I'm nuts? You think I'm this? You think I'm that? You think I care? Okay? Let me tell you one thing. When you believe in something so deep and you vision the actuality of a truth that's never existed before, at least not under my own mind, whatever I am thinking, I know exists somewhere. And I know there are others. Not saying like me, I don't want to put anybody down, okay, but there are others who are highly intellectual that know exactly what I'm talking about. Do you want me to turn upside down to prove it to you? Because if I turn upside down, all you're going to see is my head go. Okay, you want to see it? There you go. There you go. Okay, just to start off, I want all of those who watch these videos to go look at the Illuminati eye on the $1 American bill. Look at the year, MDCC. Well, before you start looking, look on the left, you will see the letter J. There should be another 10,000 added there because the letter J is 10. It means it went through the first level and now it's at 1776. Okay? J and M next to each other in the alphabet is number 23. Okay? 23, number 23 by J and M gives you 0, 1, 2, 3. And the next one is the angle. And that's why the one usually doesn't have any secure number on it. Because, well, it does, but it's hard to explain. It gives you the second level, okay, rating. I don't even know where to go and to jump and what to say. All I know right now I'm working on, there's a period in time of obviously 1776, which actually means 84, okay? It means 1776 equals 84, which equals 24, which equals 12, 6, 3, and 1. The minute you get the 3, divide by 3. Okay? Do you know why? Because the minute you get your 3, you're on the last level. You got to divide by 3. Right away you'll have the first number and the second number because they're both 1 and 1. The first and the second are both individual. A and B, first and first. A and B are individuals, okay? The reason they're individuals is because one is the spirit row, the other one is the passage connection and the turning of the planets and everything. The last one is man, and all this has to be done for man. Plus man makes him a totality of cat. 4. You ever hear in French what they say for 4? Cat, like a cat and a dog. And for 80, they say 420s. And of course it's 420s because every egg in this world is in the beta world. It's insane. And 40 and 91, they say 480s. And then 11 and 80 is 91. SPIRIT equals 91. S letter equals 19. Equals 100. And 10. And U, half. So A is B. So where are we right now? So what year are we now from 1776? 236 years. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my God. Look at this, my friends. We're in the year of 9/11. How do I know? Right here. See number 23? Everybody told everybody there's an action with 23. There's a reaction with 9. Okay? Why is there a reaction with 9? Okay, let me turn it the other way. Okay. This is 11/9, my friends, this year. Okay. One of the reasons it's 236 years since 1776. Okay. 36 is creation. This is 2 times in this world. So it happens 1 time automatically for saying the time it is, right? It's a new leaf. Next year's a new year for this. Okay. And it should be a silent year next year, at least for part of it. Because 7, 8, and 9 go together. So the gates, the gate, the birth, and the what's it called? 1, 2, 3. But we never carry, okay, to 9. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is next year is 237 years. Okay? It's the first year of the next level. So it should be calm. The minute you get into the second place of the next level, now you add in the first world spirit, the secondary world placement, who we are, and man on this earth in the 2014. Now you got everybody surrounded. You have 3 of 4. The 4th of 4, 4 corners come in here, and now you can make a creation. You can't create. You can't create if you open up this card. Okay? It means nothing. This is the center world. No creation. This is something different. So anyways, yeah, so it's 9/11 for another reason, that 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 6 is 36, 6 and 3 is 9 again. Comes back, right? 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 3 and 6 is 9. 6, 9, 11. 11, 9. Does that say enough? That's all you have to see. That's all you have to see. This is it, my friends. This is it. I just can't believe it. I don't like to say this, but I mean, if I'm wrong, it's terrible. And if it's not right, then maybe it'll never happen. And if it never happens, why did I learn everything I learned? I don't want to be able to just learn for just the sake of learning. I mean, everything I've learned, whatever I know. I want something to happen because otherwise, forever and ever, there's a lot of other people doing things close to what I'm doing, and we're just going to be big talkers until the end of our death. I mean, it's not that we all want to be right. I mean, it feels good, but I see the truth within this. And if everybody's talking so much about evil, well, I'm just going to look at the other side. Raphael 7286 in the Constellation Pegasus. Thank you for this video.